Well, thanks, ladies, for joining us, and then anybody else who's watching this after the fact, too. My name is Janice Jewett. I'm actually a professor at Pittsburgh State, and I'm also serving as the president of the Kansas Recreation and Parks Association. And so, to finish out this year anyway, I hand over the gavel to someone else in 2027 at conference. So, um, anyway, we're super glad that you're here, and we're going to talk to you about this new poster presentation student challenge that we have. This is the first year we've ever done this, and so it's new to us as well. But we're very excited to offer it, and we think that it's a great thing to participate in. So, and it will occur at our conference in January in Topeka on January 27th. So, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about some of the aspects of this competition. So, with a poster presentation, you are really going to bring a vision to light and present it in a poster. And probably you've done something like this before. But if you haven't, this is going to give you a chance to um, brainstorm an idea, much like you might have done in a programming class. You're putting together a festival, a special event, or a program, and you're going to share that with others at the conference, and people will probably interact with you and ask you questions about what you've developed. And in addition to that, you'll be judged on what you bring in terms of this poster and your ideas and your verbal interaction at the conference. And we have three prizes that we are giving to the top three award winners in terms of the competition. So we're super excited about that. So we think that this poster presentation brings all aspects of your coursework together into a finished product that is hypothetical in nature, but it gives you it shows that you have the skills to produce something like this hypothetically and then to present it to others. So that's a little bit of a background with what we are doing and the poster presentation competition. So, so our scenario gives you a little bit of a setup to work with. It's you're part of a leadership team. You've got a 160-acre park that you're working with that includes some different amenities, including the 2-mile walking trail loop, a performance stage, a playground, and baseball and softball fields. And so you're challenged with increasing the awareness and appreciation and community engagement in a new program that you design that utilizes these amenities in the park. And so, like I said, it's hypothetical. You can use your idea for any city that you like in Kansas. So it could be your hometown, it could be your college town, it could be any other community that you're familiar with and that you would like to just build your program or your event on based on that community. Oh. And with that, let's see, Amanda, I'm not quite sure I'm
I
following your
I have
slides,
one, sorry, I had
but
one thing to add to that.
oh, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. I was going to say, you don't feel like you have to use all the amenities. So you can use some of them or one of them or whatever you want to use from that scenario. You don't have to feel like you have to program all the different things. So it's whatever you want to include in your idea.
Great. Thank you. And I think maybe, is that the next slide or are we
This
back?
one,
There we
sorry,
go.
sorry about
Okay, thank
that.
you. I was like, wait a second. All right. So this particular slide shows you some of the guidelines to go by. It's going to include your program, your event, your special event, your festival, whatever concept you have, giving your event name, the theme, the goals, the target audience. And Amanda, we're sharing this out with these students right after the fact
Yes.
too. So
Yes.
don't feel
It's
like you have to write everything down. You'll
mhm.
get a copy of this as well. Clear use of the park amenities that you choose to include. Budget including how you're going to generate revenue and what expenses you foresee. So you might think about, okay, what am I going to charge for this event, or what aspects within the event are going to have a fee associated with them, and what might that fee be? And then what expenses am I going to have on the flip side of that? So you're actually looking at preparing a budget. And then you also might think about sponsoring sponsorships for your event. And that could be like you could use someone local within the community that you're working with. Like I would reach out to, let's say, for instance, Jock Snitch to sponsor my softball tournament here in Pittsburgh, Kansas, just to give you an idea. So you might identify some of those sponsorships that you would have, and show how you're going to generate additional revenue. If you're going to maybe write a grant or do anything like that, that would be included. And then you'll want to provide us with your employees and your volunteers and their jobs. So you could just say something like, employee one will be responsible for this, employee two will do this, volunteer one will do these tasks, volunteer two will do this. And I would include what you have them doing before the event, during the event, and then after the event as well. So that you think about all aspects of what is happening at your event. So safety, security, maintenance, setup, takedown, cleanup, all those things that go into an event. So, and then we're going to use the economic impact calculator, and Amanda will talk about that here in a little bit and show you how that works. But that's a tool that Kansas Recreation and Parks Association subscribes to. It's a really cool tool that helps you look at having an event in your park in a local community. What kind of impact does that have on the local community economically? And we know that Parks and Rec services certainly provide economic boost to communities. And so you'll see how that works by utilizing this calculator. And then the community benefit, we want you to, this is the last thing on this particular slide, we want you to be able to connect to one of KRPA's true value of Parks and Rec themes. So you might connect to more than one, but your project should at least connect to one, and you should be able to show us how that works. So fosters community engagement would be one, instills local pride, connects people and partnerships, supports conservation and nature, or contributes to the economic development. So that's just kind of an overview, I guess, of some of the individual components that you'll want to have included in your poster.
And we'll
Okay.
go over that last one again in a
Okay.
little more
Yes.
detail. So.
Yes. And I think, Amanda, that's
My turn? All right.
that.
Yep. So just so some dates and things to keep in mind to explain this project a little bit better is that we'd love to have you registered by next week from Friday, December 12th, just partly to get our numbers so we can prepare for you, and also so you have time to, if you want to work on it over your break before you head back to school, because we know it is a pretty quick turnaround to conference once you guys get back for your spring semester. So registration December 12th is great, and I will put that link in the comment box along with the link to the website that has all this information about the details that Janice has gone over with so far. As far as preparing a poster, we'd like it to be 36 by 48 inches if possible. That just summarizes your project. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but if it causes a concern there at all, please contact me. We would never want that to be. We have resources here that we can help with that. And then your presentation will be on January 27th from 1 to 2, and that is during our trade show. And so all the professionals that we have coming to our conference, which is around 500, will be there, and they'll be walking around, and we'll have our judges there at that time. But it's a great way to network with other professionals. If you're looking at possibly a career in Parks and Rec, it's a good way to meet some directors from around the state and people that do a lot of the hiring. So we hope that that's on top of this opportunity. That networking time is really good for you. And then when we look at the awards and prizes, we're looking at if we'll have 3 winners based on our judges' findings and how they rank everyone. And so first place would get 500, second place would get 250, and third place would be 150. There's a chance those might go up a little bit based on a few sponsors I'm trying to get into, but that for sure will be the prize, and we'll get that out in the spring. So Layla, as you're a senior, that can still be applied to you and everything. It doesn't need to wait until the fall of next year or anything. We can send it directly to you, or we can send it to your school to be applied to your tuition or whatever is easiest. But we'll contact you at that point, the winners, to determine that. And then we'd love to highlight you, showcase you in our newsletter and or in our magazine and across social media, for the great work that you guys are doing. So, okay, so I'm going to hop into the calculator because I'm sure that that is going to be new to everybody and something just that can feel a little overwhelming, but I promise it's not. Okay, so when you come, whoops, oh dear, look, I was all set up just right, and now it's gonna give me a hard time. Hold on. I was trying to log out so I can show you exactly how to log in. So as you register for participating in this, you will be given a username and password. This calculator is only for our members resources. We just don't open it up to everyone because our members know the best on what kind of numbers that they see at their events and things like that. So once you register, you'll receive an email within 24 hours. And if you have registered to this point, you will receive it in the next 24 hours, a username and password. So you can log in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in real quick. And you'll just come down onto this page, and this will all be sent to you in an email, and it'll take you to this website. Now, this calculator is set up to show values of different ways that Parks and Rec help their community economically. So up here at the top, you'll see property values, healthcare, environment, tourism, job creation, and arts. Now, depending on what kind of project you choose, whether it is you want to show property value around your park and how this helps you, if you're doing to put like a 5K or you're doing a ongoing fitness class at your park, you might want to do healthcare. If you are adding something of value for the environment or want to show how this park helps the environment, this is a great place. Tourism would be an event like if you decide you want to do a sports event or anything like that. This is a great place to start with tourism. It's one of the easiest ones to use, and so I'll show you that in a minute. Job creation, if you're thinking about adding a new program, it'll help you say, oh, well, my hypothetical staff only has 2 people, but if we could do this ongoing event at the park, then we might want to add this many jobs. Or if you decide to do like an arts program at the park, you can put arts in here. Arts is very similar to tourism, but when they did the research, when they do arts events, it draws in a different clientele of people and that want to come enjoy it. And so their spending kind of changed based on that. And so that is similar, but a little different. So I'm going to show you the tourism one today because I think this is probably the one most of you will think about using. And so when you come in here, there's not a lot of stuff you really need to enter. And I'm going to emphasize here, as far as this goes, and also like when Janice mentioned, oh, I'm going to bring in the sponsors, potential sponsors, all this is hypothetical. We do not expect, like, they're not judging you on accuracy. Well, you're not really going to bring in that much. It's just they want to see that you're getting the idea of how these all work and play into the communities that they're involved in. And so don't feel pressure to like getting the numbers exactly correct. We were just kind of playing around and learning how to use these things and apply them to your presentation. So, okay, so like Janice said, you can pick whatever city in Kansas you want to have this program be in, this park in. And so you come on here, and based on obviously, if you're in Garden City or you're in Hays, Kansas, West, or you're in Johnson County area, or you're in Pittsburgh, you're going to have a different calculation of how that would affect the economy. So we really broke it down into different areas. So you just kind of have to look at your map and see. And if you see these little eyes right here, all of these, like you'll see here, there's a map here that would tell you exactly what region your city would be in that you're looking for. So you don't really have to guess. All of these have a little explanation of what these are. So if you get to into anything, you can kind of read about it. And obviously, please email me if you have any questions. But let's say you're going to do, and even Johnson County is broken down from northeast to the Kansas City specific metro area because even that is very different. But let's just say you're going to do Bonner Springs in northeast Kansas, and you're going to have an event. You're going to do a, a sports tournament, and you think that it's going to be you have four different fields to program, and so you think you're going to get 1,500 visitors between the teams that play. If you base it on you have 40 teams with 15 players and they're all bringing two parents, blah, blah, blah. You can figure out how many, kind of estimate how many visitors you'd have per day. Is it a whole weekend tournament or is it a 1 day tournament? You put the number of event days in it and then estimating how many people do you think would stay overnight? So if you're thinking we are really trying to make this a regional event where we're inviting people from Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, and Kansas, or if you're thinking more locally, that would kind of change your overnight stays. But you can keep it at 1% if you just want to, like, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna keep it at that, or you could move it up to like, let's say it's 15% because you think there's probably a few people that are gonna have to stay overnight. So you put that in there. I'm gonna change this to 10, and then all you do is you hit calculate and it'll bring up what they think the annual spending generated from that event would be. And so you can incorporate that into your presentation. So if you're thinking I'm going to have a day where we're going to have a tournament and we're going to do something else, you can use a couple different calculations here. But you can go in and play around with this. Each one is just slightly different, but simple. They're not asking you for a ton of different ones. If you're looking at environmental things, you can do stormwater value, you can do trails. So again, in that scenario, I think it has how many miles of trails, but if it's something you don't know, like number of trees, you can just estimate it. And so you can put that, in here of, a made up number and try to incorporate that into your presentation. So I'll stop there for a second. Does anybody have any questions as on any of this or want me to show you either any of the other ones on the top? Okay. We'll play around with it. You can't break it. It's not a system that's gonna crash because you messed up any numbers. Like, don't be afraid to get in there and just play around and find some numbers that would help sell your scenario and your story to the judges. So,
Amanda,
and
is it easy
yeah.
to go back just one page to the tourism
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that you actually just plugged in?
Mhm.
So, just to give you an example, that once you plug in your numbers, you could take a screenshot of that and plug that into your poster presentation. I mean, that would be suitable and show that you used it, but it also help you remember, okay, what did I plan on? I planned on 3 days. I estimated this many people. So you have that kind of just right there in front of you. That would be a way to use that information in your poster.
That is true. And there is hold on, let's see if I can find
Get a report.
there's a report. And so I'm like, it's not that, where in the world did the report button go? There is a way to actually spit out the report. Well, I will see. Hold on just 1 second if it's on this page. It just keeps telling me use some. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted either. Okay, anyway, there is a way to do it, but I think that that's a great way to do the screenshot because the report gets a little lengthy. It has it has like the citations and the study in it how they got these numbers plugged in and all that good stuff. But there is a user guide here that's pretty simple. That if you have run into any issues, you're welcome to look at that too. So. It's weird that I can't find that report button, but oh well. Okay, and then the other thing that we asked you to do, oh, there's the citations, now they come up, is talk about this true value messaging. And so I was just gonna, this will be available to you in the information that we send out, and it's on that web page. You do have to be logged in as a member to do this and to access this and the calculator. Just remember you have to log in for those, but it kind of explains a little bit more. And then there's this short video here that we kind of put together of why we came up with this true value messaging. There's just, and you guys might not know, or maybe you even, there are just lots of misconceptions out there about what Parks and Recreation does for their community and what value they bring. And so in there, it just touches on those misconceptions and why we came up with this true value messaging. And most of it is just so our association and professionals around the state are talking the same way, so that people outside of our profession know exactly what we're bringing. And one of the easiest ones, since you have to use the calculator, if you got to add one, is the economic development piece. Because I mean, those two tie hand in hand together. But this, when we tell the story about anything we do, and this probably will go across whatever profession you guys land in, is there's this head piece and a heart piece. And when you're telling people about what you do, there's people out there that like they just want to know the numbers. Just tell me what value I'm getting from this, or what value my citizens are going to get from this, because this is their taxpayer money I'm responsible for. Like, are you using it wisely? And they want to know that piece. And then there's other people that they're all about the heart, and they want to know what's going, what value are you bringing? How are you really making an impact on people in your community? And so we are like Parks and Rec is awesome because we do that so easily both ways. And so this kind of helps talk about the heart piece a little bit more of like what brings people to your town most of the time is what Parks and Rec brings, because people have pride in the town that they want to live in. They want to know that they're going to get connected with people when they move there. And so Parks and Rec provides those kind of opportunities for people. And so you kind of tell the heads, we always say, tell the head and the heart story, so people really understand what's going on. And that's kind of what we'd like you to do for your program, is you kind of tell this is the value piece as dollar signs go, but this is also the heart piece. It's going to bring people together that might not have been together before, or something like that. So yeah, any questions about the value messaging on that? Okay, right. Well, I'll go back to our presentation. I just have a few more things to fill you in on and answer a few questions. So, okay. So as far as the logistics of the day go on January 27th, so the trade show takes place at the Stormont Vale Event Center in Topeka. And again, it's on Tuesday the 27th, and you can access that through the Maynard Conference Center. I put the address here, it's 1717 Southwest Topeka Boulevard. And that's the conference center, just kind of on the north of the Stormont Vale Event Center. And that's where our registration desk will be for our conference. And so as you come in, you can go to the registration desk and they'll direct you where to go. So we have that day a student summit, and we're going to talk a little bit about that on a second, because we'd love for you guys to attend that if you're available to come the whole day. It is not an obligation at all to attend the student summit to be a part of the poster presentation. But it's a great opportunity to meet other students from around the state. And also, they just have a great lineup of things that they do throughout the day to connect you with professionals and also learning opportunities. So if you come first thing in the morning and you have your presentation, you will more than likely just leave it at the registration desk, and we'll get that set up for you in the trade show. If you end up that you cannot be there until 12:30, that's no problem at all. Just try and give a little time so we can get your poster presentation set up and it's on its easel, and so you're comfortable and good to go, so you're not trying to throw it together right at 1 o'clock. As the judges are coming by, it'll help make sure you're in the right place, and we'll have people at the registration desk that'll make sure that you get to where you need to be within the trade show, because our trade show, so just so you know, is in this big old area in the Stormont Event Center. There will be over 100 vendors there at different booths, and so you'll kind of be set up through, and I'm not sure if you'll be in little groups, or it'll kind of depend on how many people we have, but the judges will know. But our professionals will be going through talking to those vendors, and then they'll hopefully stop by and say hi and look at your presentation and make introductions, and you'll get opportunities to meet people like we discussed. So, yeah. So, is there anything else you can think on that as far as Janice, I need to share on the logistics of the day?
Um, just maybe what they need to bring. Is it just their poster itself?
hmm Yeah, the great point. Yes. So just bring your poster. We will have easels in different ways. Either we'll have easels with backs on them that we can put it on, or we, depending on wall space, we might be able to put them up against a wall. So we're still kind of working out that. But if you just bring it, we'll take care of making sure that it's all set up so people can see it properly. So, yeah. And you can wear a suit. You can wear, I would just dress some relatively professional. I don't think you need to have, like, guys don't need to wear ties or anything like that. You don't have to feel like you have to wear a dress. We'll have people at our conference wear a variety of things. They're park and rec professionals. So we have guys that are out in the, soil and stuff, and they're going to come in jeans and boots and all that good stuff. And then we'll have other people there that are in polos and khakis. And so, yeah, so I would, if I was recommending, I would dress somewhat professional, just so you're presenting well and representing yourself well. Okay. And then judging criteria, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but we just want you guys to have fun with this. We want to see your creative side on what kind of program and things like that you would come up with. And so that is a lot of it. And then just showing how you incorporate data and budgeting within that. So we just want to see that you can come up with a relevant community event that aligns with what Parks and Rec and the KRPA mission is to draw people together in that value messaging. We want to see that you can apply the data that you come up with for the economic impact calculator, that you can show that value, that you're creative and unique. Like get out, think outside the box. We have extremely creative professionals and they love to have fun. And so think outside the box. Even if you're doing a sports tournament, like how is your sports tournament going to be different than just, oh, we invited some teams over to do a tournament? Like maybe you have a theme or something like that that you could incorporate there and then with other amenities in the park. You guys will have fun with it. So, and then showing some sort of budget. Again, we're not looking for all the accuracy of it. You can say, I'm going to get $2,000 in sponsorships. You could say, I can get $5,000. Just show that you're considering the revenue and the expenses that you'd have for an event. And then just spending good, sending a nice presentation on your poster board that's easy to read, that it's easy to understand, that it looks nice. Any questions on that? All right. And then we kind of touched on this a little bit already that like if you have any financial restrictions for printing, I know that sometimes those posters are kind of expensive. Sometimes I know the school will help with that if they know that you're doing it. Is that correct, Janice? You would
That
probably
is
know that a little
correct.
bit.
That is
Mhm.
correct. Through, like at Pittsburgh State, it might be through our department, the HHPR department, or it might be through our research um, department on campus. So, like research and grants, that division. If they know you're going to be presenting at a conference, oftentimes they will pay for the printing of it. So, and I would say that you might want to allow 1 to 2 weeks for that printing to occur. At least that's what happens on our campus. I think giving them a week is good. And then if you haven't done one of these before, you can search for poster presentation template and it will give you a template in which to work with. And many people just design this through a PowerPoint and then they get the PowerPoint to the printing services on their campus. But once again, if there's a challenge where you're going to have to pay out of pocket, because they can be kind of expensive. I think they can be $60 to $75 to have printed on our campus. Um, so definitely reach out to Amanda if that is the case. If you don't have assistance on campus for it, reach out and we will assist.
Yeah, we never want that to be a reason somebody didn't participate. So we're here for that. Okay. And then we're just going to tell you just a little bit about the Student Summit.
Yes. So the Student Summit is an all-day event that occurs as part of our conference, and it's a chance where students are mixed in with our professionals for different sessions, including the opening keynote session. So um, all of our students at the Student Summit will go to that, but then also they'll come back to a room that's just for them that focuses on student issues and students entering into the profession. So, like resume building, there'll be young professionals that tell their story about how they got into Parks and Recreation, and you'll hear all different kinds of backgrounds of how their journey landed in Parks and Rec. They'll talk about internship possibilities through different associations with Kansas Recreation and Parks Association and all the communities within our state and their internships that they offer. There'll be all kinds of opportunities to interact with the young professionals and the professionals just attending the conference, as well as get to hear um, the opening keynote speaker. And then you'll also get to view this trade show just a little bit. If you're presenting in it, you'll be presenting for an hour, but also you'll get a chance to visit some of those vendors if you choose to do so. So, and if you do, one of the cool things about Kansas Recreation and Parks Association, in my opinion, is that you can attend the conference for free, no registration cost if you're a member, and the membership costs $15. We're refunding that for you guys if you present, but even for those who aren't presenting, the $15 is a very small investment to belong to a professional organization and then to be able to attend the conference. So you can come to as many sessions as you like during that 3-day conference. So if your schedule allowed, you could stay for more than just one day. So
Great. And we have a very dynamic young professional group right now who are so great, and they will help you through the whole day. Like you'll never be wondering where to go or anything like that. They have a real tight-knit group that'll walk you around, and if you do the poster presentation, they'll help you find where you need to go and everything, so you'll be set up for that day really well. So it's pretty fun. And lunch is provided. So,
always a plus.
yeah. Okay, and so we just thought we'd open it up a little bit to questions that anyone might have. If you guys have anything, I was gonna throw out one question that we got was, can you use AI to help with your presentation? And our committee decided yes, you may use AI. Just kind of be upfront about how you used it and incorporated it into your presentation, but you are very welcome to have assistance with that. You're talking about poster, like there, I know there's templates even on Canva that help with that and things. So that is not a problem. Someone else had asked me the location thing. Someone else had asked, it said for, I need to clarify this on the website, for baseball and softball. And so they were like, well, is that two baseball and two softball? And so you can take it however you want one. But in my head, I was thinking like if you've been to a sports complex, and I don't know how many of you have played baseball or softball, but usually it's like a foursome, like a four of them that back up into each other. And so I was thinking for baseball and for softball. So I'll incorporate that on the website, make sure that's clear. But did you guys have any other questions that came up from this or okay. um anything else, Janice, that make sure we covered today?
Look at my list, but
So, Layla, I saw that you were already signed up for participating. Evelyn, if you want to throw your email in the chat, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can, and I can send you the information. I will also put in the chat where all of this is on our website. I just threw in the website on there so that it has all the details that we've gone over as far as the judging criteria and all the information about that. And then I'm also going to throw in the website for our student summit. And so if you want any more information about that. So basically it's free if you participate on all of this. Just we're doing a little work for the presentation and you can get your membership for the year paid for and the whole day for the student summit paid for and all of that. So it's a pretty, we hope it makes it something to look forward to in the cold months. So if you guys do end up having any questions, this is Janice and my information, and or even along the way, like if you're in the middle of the project and you're like, I doing this right or whatever, please, please, please reach out. We are a resource for you. We don't want this to be too burdensome or anything. We hope that it's just kind of fun to do and something creative outside the box of the normal things that you guys have on your plate as a student and gives you a little taste of what our professionals do a lot. I mean, this is a lot of their jobs incorporate things like this. And so it's a fun field. And so hopefully it's a fun project. So.
Exactly. All right. Well, do you guys have any questions now?
I don't, I do not.
Wonderful. Well, thanks you guys for joining us.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
don't hesitate to reach out if you think of any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.